In a small village surrounded by tall palm trees and golden grasslands, there lived a boy named Shami. He was 12 years old, with bright eyes that sparkled like the morning sun. Shami lived in a simple mud house with his mother, Mimi, who was still young and beautiful despite the hard life they led. Their home had only 2 rooms and a small kitchen where Mimi cooked their meals over a wood fire. The roof was made of dried grass that rustled when the wind blew at night. They didn't have much, just a few cooking pots, 2 sleeping mats, and the clothes on their backs. Every morning, Shami would wake up before the roosters crowed. He would help his mother fetch water from the stream, then head into the forest to hunt for small animals. Sometimes he caught rabbits. Other times he found wild birds or gathered fruits from the trees. Whatever he brought home, Mimi would cook it into a delicious meal that made their small house smell wonderful. But life wasn't easy. Some days Shami returned home with nothing. On those nights, he and his mother would go to bed hungry, their stomachs grumbling. Mimi never complained. She would smile at her son and say, "Tomorrow will be better, my child." Shami hated seeing his mother work so hard. She would go to the market to sell firewood, carrying heavy bundles on her head under the hot sun. Her hands were rough from all the work, and sometimes Shami noticed her wiping tears from her eyes when she thought he wasn't looking. One afternoon, Shami went hunting in the forest with his small bow and arrows. The sun was high in the sky, making everything hot and sticky. He walked for hours, searching for anything they could eat. He saw a few birds, but they flew away before he could shoot. He spotted a rabbit, but it disappeared into a hole in the ground. After walking for so long, Shami's throat felt dry like sand. His lips were cracked, and his tongue felt thick in his mouth. He remembered there was a stream not far from where he stood. He had never been there before, but he had heard other hunters talk about it. Shami followed the sound of running water. The trees grew thicker, and the air became cooler. Soon he heard the gentle splash of water flowing over rocks. He pushed through some bushes and found himself standing beside the most beautiful stream he had ever seen. The water was so clear he could see smooth stones at the bottom. Little fish swam in circles, and dragonflies danced above the surface. Shami pulled out his plastic bottle and was about to fill it when he heard something strange. It was a voice, soft and scared, calling for help. Shami froze. He looked around but saw no one. Then he heard it again. "Please, help me." The voice came from the water. Shami walked along the edge of the stream, his heart beating fast. That's when he saw it. Caught in an old fishing net near some rocks was a creature he had never seen before. It was about the size of a small child, with a shimmering green tail like a fish, but above the waist it looked like a little girl, with long flowing hair the color of seaweed, a mermaid. Shami couldn't believe his eyes. He had heard stories about mermaids from the old people in his village, but he always thought they were just tales to scare children. The little mermaid looked at him with big, frightened eyes. "Please help me," she said again. "The net is hurting me." Shami's first thought was to run away. What if this creature was dangerous? What if it was a trick? But then he looked at her face and saw real tears rolling down her cheeks. She was in pain. Without thinking twice, Shami waded into the water. It was cool against his hot skin. He reached the mermaid and carefully began to untangle the net from around her tail. The ropes were tight, and had left red marks on her shimmering scales. "Hold still," Shami said gently. "I'll get you out." It took several minutes, but finally the last piece of net fell away. The little mermaid swam in a quick circle, testing her tail. Then she turned to Shami with the biggest smile he had ever seen. "Thank you. Oh, thank you so much," she said, her voice like tiny bells ringing. "I've been stuck here since yesterday. I thought I would never get free." "How did you get caught?" Shami asked, still amazed that he was talking to a real mermaid. "I was playing too close to the surface," she explained. "Some fishermen left their net here, and I swam right into it like a silly fish. My name is Nala. What's yours?" "I'm Shami." "Well, Shami, you saved my life. I will never forget this kindness." Shami smiled. "I should go now. My mother will be worried." "Will you come back?" Nala asked hopefully. "I don't have many friends. Most humans are afraid of me." Shami thought about it. "I'll come back tomorrow," he promised. And he did. The next day, after his morning chores, Shami returned to the stream. Nala was waiting for him, sitting on a rock with her tail in the water. When she saw him, she waved excitedly. "You came back. I was afraid you wouldn't." They talked for hours. Nala told him about her life underwater. She described the beautiful coral gardens where she lived, the schools of colorful fish that were her neighbors, and her older sisters who were always bossing her around. Shami told her about his village, his mother, and how hard life was for them. He told her about going to bed hungry and watching his mother work until her hands bled. Nala listened quietly, her face growing sad. "I wish I could help you," she said. "Just being my friend is enough," Shami replied. Every day after that, Shami would visit the stream. Sometimes he would bring Nala wild fruits from the forest. She loved mangoes most of all. In return, she would tell him wonderful stories about the underwater world and teach him songs that only mermaids knew. One day, Nala seemed especially excited. "I have something for you," she said mysteriously. She dove under the water and came back holding something in her hands. When she opened them, Shami gasped. Lying in her palms were 3 golden coins that sparkled in the sunlight. "These are for you," Nala said, placing them in Shami's hands. "Take them to the market. They will help your mother." Shami stared at the coins. He had never held gold before. "Nala, I can't take these. This is too much." "You saved my life, Shami. This is nothing compared to that. Please, take them. Make your mother happy." Shami's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," he whispered. That evening, Shami showed the coins to his mother. Mimi's eyes grew wide with shock. "Where did you get these?" she asked, worried. "Shami, did you steal them?" "No, mother, I promise. A friend gave them to me." Mimi looked at her son's honest face and believed him. The next day, she took 1 coin to the market. With it, she bought rice, beans, vegetables, oil, and even a small piece of dried fish. That night, they ate until their bellies were full for the first time in months. But Shami noticed something strange happening in the village. People began asking questions about where his mother got money. Some looked at them with jealousy in their eyes. Others whispered behind their backs. The village chief's son, a mean boy named Kofi, started following Shami around. "Where does your poor mother suddenly get gold?" Kofi demanded one day. "Tell me, or I'll make trouble for you." Shami said nothing and walked away. But Kofi didn't give up. He followed Shami for several days, hiding in the bushes and watching him. One afternoon, Kofi saw Shami heading toward the stream. He followed quietly, keeping out of sight. When he reached the stream, he hid behind a large tree and watched. His mouth dropped open when he saw Shami talking to a mermaid. He watched as Nala gave Shami more gold coins and a beautiful pearl necklace. Kofi's eyes burned with greed. He wanted that gold for himself. That night, Kofi returned to the stream with a large net. He waited quietly in the bushes until Nala appeared, swimming peacefully in the moonlight. Then he threw the net over her with all his strength. Nala cried out in fear as she became tangled in the ropes. "Let me go, please!" "Give me all your gold and treasures," Kofi demanded, "or I'll take you to the village and put you in a cage for everyone to see." "I don't have any gold with me," Nala cried. "Please, you're hurting me." Kofi pulled the net tighter. "Then I'll keep you here until you bring me what I want." He tied the net to a tree and left Nala struggling in the water, planning to return in the morning. The next day, when Shami came to visit, he found Nala trapped again. But this time, she was weaker. She had been struggling all night and was exhausted. "Shami," she whispered weakly, "someone caught me. He wants gold. He's coming back soon." Shami's heart filled with anger. He quickly freed Nala from the net. "You must go away from here," he told her urgently. "It's not safe anymore." Nala's eyes filled with tears. "But what about our friendship? I'll never see you again." "Your safety is more important than anything," Shami said, though his own eyes were wet. "Please, go back to your home underwater. Stay away from the surface." Nala hugged Shami as best she could. "You are the kindest human I've ever known. I will never forget you." She reached into the water and pulled out a small shell. "Take this. Whenever you need help, hold it to your ear and call my name 3 times. I will hear you, no matter how far away I am." Then she dove deep into the water and disappeared. When Kofi returned to the stream an hour later, the net was empty. He screamed in anger and searched everywhere, but Nala was gone. Months passed. Shami and his mother used the gold wisely. They repaired their house, bought seeds to plant a garden, and Mimi opened a small shop in the village where she sold vegetables and fruits. Life became much better. Shami never forgot Nala. Sometimes, late at night, he would hold the shell to his ear and whisper her name just to hear the sound of the ocean. And sometimes, very faintly, he could hear her voice whispering back, "I remember you, friend. I remember." The village people never learned the truth about where the gold came from. Kofi tried to tell everyone about the mermaid, but no one believed him. They thought he was making up stories because he was jealous of Shami's good fortune. Years later, when Shami was grown, he would take his own children to the stream and tell them stories about friendship, kindness, and a little mermaid who changed his life forever. He taught them that helping others, even when it's difficult or scary, is always the right thing to do. And every time he told the story, he would hold that special shell close to his heart, remembering the friend he made and lost, and the day he learned that true friendship is more valuable than all the gold in the world.